Dan's here!
I'm going to fan myself with this if I need to and then sleep a little. This is a friend's story, but it's probably going to be the only story I ever tell about a friend whose favorite activity is chasing squirrels. I grew up in a family with 5 kids, and I think my parents believed that, 5 kids, 3 boys, we had enough animals in the house, okay? We were not pet people. We got a cat for 3 days, it peed all over my dad's office, got rid of the cat. Years later, I was living in Evanston and found that most of the dogs were better dressed than I was. I still don't understand why people have to spend $75 on a sweater for a dog. And in Evanston, the reason is because there was a sale. Years later, things changed. I went up to Madison, Wisconsin to see one of my oldest friends, Rich. I was taking a nap after watching a football game, and I woke up and his gentle, beautiful, old black lab, Max, was looking at me, wagging his tail, and had a tennis ball in his mouth. We were buddies. I left, came back a couple years later with my ex-wife to visit my friend Rich. Max was gone by then. And when my ex and I left and went to fill up the tank, there was a family on the lawn near the gas station that was selling Cocker Spaniel puppies. Aww. Well, my ex goes up to this family and she picks up one of the puppies and she's in tears. Brings the puppy over to me. I said, no, 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 and puts the puppy in my arms. And the puppy is kind of licking at me and its nose touches my cheek and it's all warm and squiggly. And she goes, isn't he cute? I said, well, he's okay. Yeah, he's kind of cute. He's okay. But no. We're not buying a dog or any pet on impulse. That's not good for the owner. That's not good for the dog. I've read about these things. So she got the phone number of these people who were selling the pet. And we got in the car and got back on 94 and went to Chicago. And a couple minutes later, I was in the passenger seat and I looked at my ex-wife and said, let's go get that dog. And we did. We picked up the dog in Rockford. We named him Madison, and we drove to Chicago. Of course, my ex was working that week. It was on a business trip out of town, so I was there with a 4-pound, 4-week-old Cocker Spaniel maniac. And I want to tell you that walking this kind of dog around the block can easily take 2.5 hours. Everybody in the neighborhood came out and wanted to talk. Strangers became acquaintances. Acquaintances became friends. Friends became dog experts. My dog wanted to sniff every blade of grass in the neighborhood. I tried to negotiate with him. I said, can we just do every other blade of grass? He wasn't having any of it. So we did our best to train him and feed him, and I walked him a lot and kind of became a buddy. There was a local groomer that tried to turn him into a poodle. I didn't like that. One time, my ex and I were celebrating something, and we bought a pound of prosciutto, and we left the room for about 3 minutes. I came back, and the dog had this baleful look on his face. Like, it just told me, okay, he was saying, I'm sorry. I'm not that sorry, but I'm sorry. This dog had me. One time I was walking back from work, and my ex was walking the dog and on the sidewalk, and she lets go of the leash, and the dog is running towards me and swiveling his hips. He's so happy, and reaches me. And happiness takes on many forms, and he was so happy And I was so happy. One time, I had a friend who saw the dog, and he thought he was an expert on dogs, and he said, you know, Madison's not the smartest dog in the world. Well, I took my dog's side on that one, okay? I said to my friend, I said, look, a dog doesn't have to have a law degree from the University of Michigan, okay? He just has to be a good boy. And this dog is the valedictorian of good boys. One time, Madison was sitting on my lap and we were watching the Bears game. And we had a little understanding. Every time the Bears scored a touchdown, I was going to give Madison a big bacon treat. Now don't think for a minute that I was spoiling my dog, because the Bears rarely scored a touchdown. My ex comes into the room and says, you know, we had plans, we got to go see my friend. And I'm like sitting there, like thinking, I'm on the couch drinking a beer, watching the Bears game with my dog who's waiting for bacon. I said to her, I said, look, we're going to see you later. We're doing something important. And that's what we did. We had a couple kids, had a couple of other pets, cats and other dog, but this was my dog. And at 13, he started to get very sick. That's 75 in people years. And the vet told us the bad news, and it was time for us to put Madison down. And I had a few moments alone with him. And I just want to say that a lot of people probably downplay the connection people have with their pets. I did at a certain point. But it broke me up. And I think that if you ever run across a family in a gas station that is selling Cocker Spaniel puppies, I'm not saying that you should just go buy one, but you might want to go out and buy some bacon treats just in case, even if you're not a dog person.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.